I've got Tegan and Sara here with me now, and John and Ted, that's right. Here as well. Have a look at this. Let me just pass over these bits of paper. And obviously, anybody else listening, if you've got a computer somewhere, you can have a look and see the caterpillars for yourself. How impressive and disgusting is that?
Oh my God. Terrifying. This is not something I would want to see.
It's like a Tim Burton movie, isn't it?
This is upsetting. I'm really upset by that. That's going to make it into my jet lag dreams tonight.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So you're hideously exhausted and very jet lagged at the moment.
This picture is actually really what I imagined. I had an amoeba that I got in India, and this is what I imagined what my intestine looked like.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just
overshare
for the listeners, if you wanted just a little TMI.
Tegan and Sara, they're here all the way from Canada with their parasites and their band John and Ted.
Is the parasite still there? Is it one of those things that's always there?
I hope not. No. God, I hope the doctors say that there's no way I could have taken all those antibiotics and anything could be left in there.
Oh, you must have got really sick though.
Yeah, I was so sick. Yeah, but we had a great experience. Tegan and I went for our first time a couple of years ago to India, and it was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, amoeba and all.
Amoeba and all.
Yeah.
Amoeba's a great title for an album, maybe. I wonder if anyone's ever used that before. I don't think they have. Anyway, welcome to the show. Thank you. It's lovely to have you all here.
Thank you for having us.
So I have to pass on Ron Sexsmith's hellos, because he's just tweeted and said hi.
Oh, hi, Ron Sexsmith.
Have you toured with him? I presume you have.
We've done festivals before.
Yeah, I think the first time that we met him actually was in Japan when we were like 20 at I think we were at Fuji Rock Fest, and I think that was the first time that we maybe played with him or met him. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never met him. I've spoken to him on the phone and things like that.
He's
good
a delight.
guy.
Yeah. I mean, we're so proud of him as Canadians, obviously.
Yeah, great songwriter, great hair.
Yeah.
Effortless.
Yeah. When I last spoke to you've got great hair as well, the pair of you.
Thank you.
Very, very
We learned
obvious.
everything from Ron.
Yeah.
Do you? Oh, really?
People always think it's Rihanna or Justin Bieber, but really the whole time it's been Ron Sexsmith. Yeah.
Yeah. When I spoke to him before, he said that he was coming over here to do gigs and he was bringing his parents with him for the first time ever, that he brought them over to the UK. And you've got your mum, haven't you?
Yeah, she's in there right
Where's
now.
Mum? Is she
Mum
gonna wave? She's out of
hiding.
sight.
There she is in the striped sweater.
Mum.
She says that her big story, we have her blogging for us on our website, teganandsara.com, and we thought it'd be funny. So her first blog went up last night and people are really loving it, but she said that we owed her this trip because in 1978 her and my dad were just dating and they were going to go to Europe, and my grandmother was like not having any of that, said she couldn't come with an unmarried partner, so they got married and they ended up having us, and she's never been. So this is her first trip. This is her first time on the continent.
Welcome to the UK. Is she okay so far?
She's doing great.
Oh yeah, we had a great afternoon. We walked through Hyde Park, and we had a jug of Pim's lemonade, and
So you're not jet lagged at all. You're hungover.
No, don't tell my mom it didn't have alcohol in it. She's just kidding. She's just joking.
Hyde Park in London is one of the wonderful places. When the sun is shining, there are very few places better than that. So it's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Serpentine is very beautiful and very nice. And then you've come in here to do this for us with Mika as well. He was getting in touch the other night, saying hi, say hi to the girls.
Amazing.
He's
we
so
love
great
him
too.
Yeah.
Everybody's so friendly. I think that's one of the cool things about. At least I'm really grumpy. Tegan's a bit more into social media, but the one thing I really enjoy about it is that it's sort of like almost like high school, like you can sort of like, you can reach out to people maybe that you like admire or that you like their music, and you can just sort of say hi, and it's sort of like maybe it sort of relieves some of the social pressure and stress. Like it's not like being at a party or at a club or something. You can just say like hi, and then it's
then you can disappear.
Yeah, like it's fine if they don't respond to you, which happens just because it does happen. But other times, they respond back, and it feels like this really meaningful thing.
Sarah's like 1998. I'll tweet something about a band, and then she'll call me and be like, "Did you know that band tweeted back at you?" And I'm like, "That's how it works."
Who then? Who are your friends on Twitter? Who are the people that you've got excited about?
Well, we've met some wonderful artists, I feel like, over Twitter, but then maybe never met in person. So I mean, the list would go on and on and on, and I would feel like a total humble bragger, and that would be anti-Canadian of me. But
I want to know. Give me one name. Give me someone who you got excited when they tweeted back.
Okay,
we
were really excited about because we sort of have been more of like a niche kind of like cult band for so long, and this record, we're really sort of making this big effort to sort of big crossover, not be so shy, and sort of like maybe bring our heads out of the shell or whatever. And Katy Perry tweeted that she was really feeling our record, and that was like
that's good.
That was like I just kept thinking like this is sort of like our generation's I don't know what the equivalent, maybe like almost like a Madonna or someone huge, like like so culturally important and so just gigantic, and I couldn't believe that she was like tweeting at us, and then that was how I felt. I was like, Tegan, Katy Perry's talking to us on the internet.
Yeah.
So that
And
was
Kylie
cool.
Minogue, you
Yeah,
called
Kylie
me.
Minogue.
Oh,
I was
Kylie.
stoked
Yeah.
about that. And it was cool because in both situations we ended up then getting to sort of meet them. Katy Perry came and saw a show that we did in Los Angeles, and we just ran into Kylie Minogue at the Logo Awards, like the gay awards in Los Angeles, and she danced and sang when we played Closer, and that was a
Amazing.
thrill. I tried not to look at her too much while we were playing, like, and dancing.
I just was like, hold on to your bladder. Like
Yeah.
that. It was like Chelsea Handler, Kylie Minogue, and
Well, it was
and
Jake
Jake Shears
Shears
from Sisters.
from Sisters.
Of
Yeah,
course.
it was a
But I
trifecta
want-
of amazingness.
I wanted
and
to
I was like, I'm gonna lose it.
I wanted to
gonna
ask
lose it.
Kylie Minogue to come on stage like a la like Courtney Cox with Bruce Springsteen,
Oh,
you
that
know,
would've
and
been
Dancing
good.
in the Dark.
Yes.
Just like, Miss Minogue, would you please join us on stage and dance with
But you
us?
didn't, no?
No.
Good.
No way.
Okay. All right. It's lovely to meet you. Do the first song for us then. What are you going to do first of all?
We're going to play a track called I Was a Fool.
Oh, this is beautiful, beautiful. Very sad as well. It's Tegan and Sara live on Radio 2.
Do you remember I searched you out? How I climbed your city's walls? Do you remember me as the vow? How I prayed for your cause? I stood still, it's what I did. Love, like ours is never fixed. Well, I stuck around. I did behave, I said you every time. I was a fool for love. I was a fool for love. I was a fool. I was a fool. Then you blame me and block me out. How long did you think I'd last? Then you disappeared for weeks to pout. How many times could I pack? But stand still is all I did. Love, like ours is never fixed. Well, I stuck around. I did behave, I said you every time. I was a fool for love. I was a fool for love. I was a fool. I was a fool. If you're worried that I might have changed, left behind all of my foolish ways, you best be looking for somebody else without a foolish heart, a foolish heart. But stand still is all we did. Love, like ours is never fixed. Oh, I stuck around. I did behave, I said you every time. Oh, I was a fool for love. I was a fool for love. I was a fool. I was a fool for love. I was a fool. I was a fool for love. I was a fool. I was a fool for love. I was a fool. I was a fool for love.
Wonderful. Tegan and Sara live on Radio 2, and I Was a Fool from the album Heartthrob. We have so many questions here. I feel I'd be doing a disservice if I didn't read out a load of your questions from your fans who are absolutely obsessed. I mean, they love you so much. I think a lot of this has to do with your live show because they feel that they can really invest in you and you give a lot back to the fans and you're very kind. It's very personal and intimate, isn't it, when you play a live show?
Yeah, there were so many years where we just relied on touring and our live audience to really keep the project going, and we signed in 1999 and we signed to an indie record label, and Neil Young was our boss, and they weren't talking about hit singles or record sales or any of those things. They were like, go out on the road and experience life and build up your live show and become a great live act. You know, that'll be the thing that keeps you going for decades if that's what you want to do. So that's what Sarah and I did, and we didn't have a lot of material at the beginning, so we just would banter with each other, and we'd banter with the audience, and then we'd go out and sell merch, and we just created this really amazing connection with our audience. And even as the audience has grown and Sarah has become a complete prima donna and won't sell merch anymore.
So she's grumpy and she's a prima donna.
Totally.
Oh my God.
I was just seeing if she was
Why is
still
she still-
listening. I know. No, but as the audience grew, you know, we still wanted to create that intimacy, and the best way we knew how to do that was to connect. So we always say there's no two Tegan and Sara shows that are alike. You know, they're always really different, and we try to keep it really fresh and hopefully show another side of ourselves beyond the music when we are there.
Yeah. Has it got more difficult? Because you said this is your album in which you're kind of going mainstream because you've had this cult following in the past. Has it got more difficult now? Do you feel under a different kind of pressure?
I think even if the record wasn't sort of having this kind of success, like I think I even started to feel this on the Con and Sainthood. I don't feel like I want to give up as much as I used to. Like I think I actually see this with younger artists now. I'm like sort of admire their the transparency. Just like this is how I'm feeling, this is what I'm eating, this is what I like, this is what I hate, and I think that now I'm much more interested in sort of like keeping some of that for myself and for the people that are in my life on a personal level. And so it sort of has become a bit of an art form, you know, trying to still be really authentic and our true selves. And we're not Lady Gaga. Like we can't slap on outfits and become a persona. Like we really are who we are. So it's a fine line. But I do think that when it's significant and meaningful connection with the audience, I don't ever regret, what we say or what we reveal. And I think we've always been really sober on stage. So there's like been very few train wrecks or very few moments where I've gotten off stage and thought like, well, that was a mistake. Yeah. Like very, very few of those moments. So. Yeah.
Basically what Sarah's saying is even with a pop record, there's no outfits. There's very little dancing, none of it choreographed.
And no terrible shaming stories that we regret the next day. Yeah. Thank goodness.
Sarah does wear a meat suit, but that's just got nothing to do with the sound of the record.
God, I'm going to ask you all these like deeply personal questions now, and you're just going to go, I'm not answering that. I'm not answering that. No.
Oh, Tegan has no shame. Go ahead.
Right, Tegan. What's your favourite movie? There you go.
We can't answer that question.
This is from
That's
Gem the Human.
I cannot believe the English people. It's just incredible what
so
you want from
intrusive.
me.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I think she's Canadian, actually.
Oh, really? That's awesome. British people are like, we have no time for you, but Canadians, we have some questions.
I have to work with Canadian on a daily basis. It's hell, I'm telling you.
I love that. Calgary. Feeling it. That's our hometown.
Oh, look at him. He's
we
whooping
got a
now.
good man here. Good man.
So it's Gem, I think, the Human. What is your favourite movie? Tell me now.
Movie? Oh, man. We know Sarah and I think we would say that probably this movie, it's an old Paul Williams classic, but called Phantom of the Paradise. And I think that movie probably had a huge part in why we are standing here right now, because we were like 5 or 6 years old the first time we saw it. It was totally inappropriate, Mum, that you guys let us listen and watch that movie. But it really made us want to sing and dance and come up with stories. And we were obsessed with this movie. It was sort of like a spoof
and
kind of
strange.
cult movie.
Like Brian De Palma, like very, very strange film, and Paul Williams wrote all the music. And now, it's so cool to see Paul Williams sort of back in the mainstream. He just, was on the new Daft Punk record. And so, but Tegan and I
we liked him
fan.
first, when
Okay,
we were 5.
of course you were there at the
like
beginning,
Daft Punk, please.
Step off.
What's it called again?
It's called Phantom of the Paradise.
Phantom of the Paradise.
Highly recommended. The music's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any pets?
No.
Besides Sarah, no.
Besides I was going to say my amoeba.
But you
Does
keep,
that count? Gross.
you keep her in a cage, right?
Yeah, my lower intestine.
Paula Smith, you've said in an interview that when you were making the Heartthrob album, you wrote down a list of all the things that you wished that you could have achieved, or you could achieve in your career. My question is this: do you have a bucket list for your personal life, or do you see the two lists as one and the same?
Well, this has been sort of a very significant topic for me of late, talking about the difference between passion and purpose. And I truly believe my music career and my ability to write and play songs, etc., is my passion. But I always thought music was my purpose, but I don't know that it is my purpose. And I'm not sure what my purpose is. And this is very existential and may get really dark quickly. So I'll just say that I think for me, my bucket list, probably there is a personal bucket list that I need to write that I haven't. You know, I think it's always been, I want to be on the Ellen show. I want to, you know, host SNL, you know, like I want to have a huge single in the UK, buy our new record. It's called Heartthrob. You know, like, I don't know. Like, I just have always, it's always been about music.
Well, then that
So
stops you going any
one-dimensional.
deeper, doesn't it? It just
Exactly.
kind of puts it off.
Yeah,
the time
so,
when you have
so
the
I do.
reflection.
I think I need to take some time and write some personal things down. But you know, I've always been afraid that it would interfere with Tegan and Sara, which is my priority. So, but we definitely are crossing a lot of things off the Tegan and Sara bucket list.
Okay, like what? Have you been on? What show did you say you wanted to go on?
We
The
went
Ellen
on
show?
Ellen. Yeah, we did. And
How was that?
She was amazing. It was incredible. We met Bill Clinton a couple nights ago.
Well, didn't you played a show for him? Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
President
Tell us.
Bill Clinton.
It was it was for his foundation, the Clinton Foundation. So we were sort of like I was kept thinking like we're almost like the wedding band, you know. Like I'm not sure that it was entirely like a Tegan and Sara audience, but you know, it was even if it were only an audience of one and it was the president, you know, Bill Clinton. I think that we would have been satisfied to do it. So it was an honor. He was so nice.
Was he all right? What-
Yeah, he was wonderful, and he really like took some time to chat with us, and he told us that he was a big fan of Grey's Anatomy. So I don't think he was putting us on when he said that he really was familiar with our band,
wow.
and he said the cutest thing, which I mean, I assume that President Bill Clinton knows that he's adorable. So if he says something funny, he would appreciate us spreading it across the world on the internet and on radio. But he said the cutest thing. He says, you know, my wife travels a lot, so I'm really, you know, I watched a lot of TV, and I really love Grey's Anatomy. And we were like, your wife.
What travels a
Your
lot?
wife travels a lot. Hillary? Mrs. Hillary Clinton. Yes, we know her. We're familiar. He was so wonderful. It was really cool.
He has a lot of charisma, yeah.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
It's wild.
It
It's like you
is.
walk into the Bill Clinton
Wow.
vortex. Like it's
he could
all
have like
him.
he could have been like, I'm starting this compound. We're gonna all wear all white, and and it's just mostly Kool-Aid, and we're gonna live in a barn. And I've been like, where do we go? When do we leave?
Sign me up.
Let's go.
Goodbye, family and friends.
More questions. We've got Rio, who says, what are both your favourite places to visit or play in the UK? Can't wait to see them in Glasgow on Sunday. Where do you like to go when you're here?
Man, it's hard because we're just always we feel so fortunate to be able to come back here. We actually just did this tour supporting the Killers before Christmas, and we went to all of these places that, you know, for us, like maybe if we came over on our own tour, we wouldn't get to, you know, like, you know, smaller cities and towns, and we just feel really grateful to get to be doing this.
Name one.
Okay, like I always Tegan. I really
Name 10 cities in the UK. Go,
I really
here, I'm going
get-
to tap your head. You know that game. Brighton, that would be one. Beautiful. Brighton's beautiful.
really
Yeah,
get excited
Manchester?
to go to
Manchester's
Manchester.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
good,
They're
yeah, yeah.
wild.
Of
London,
course.
obviously
Glasgow?
incredible. Glasgow's amazing.
Yeah.
Sarah and I had a fist fight before a show in Glasgow once, so it's memorable.
What was it
therefore.
over?
Oh, just a life.
Our love of
Yeah.
Scotland.
Phantom of the Paradise.
Samantha says, what's the number one thing your mum wants to do or see on the European tour with
My
you?
mom has a crazy list, so if anyone wants to volunteer to take her out, no, she's being pretty easygoing, but she has made a list. She only came over with 1/3 of her suitcase
I
full.
was just about to say, she's
made
made
a
a
shopping
shopping
list.
list.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
She also this was a quote from the other day. I want to find something to bring back for the house. I was like, and that will fit in your suitcase. Like, what does that mean? So, we're on the lookout for something
To
for
take
the house.
back to the house. Right, let's have some more music from you then, Tegan and Sara. What's next?
This is a song called Closer.
Okay.
All I wanna get is a little bit closer. All I wanna know is, can you come a little closer? Here comes a breath before we get a little bit closer. Here comes a rush before we touch. Come a little closer. The doors are open, the wind is really blowing. Night sky is changing overhead. And it's not just our physical. The type who won't get over so critical. So let's make things physical. I won't treat you like you're all so typical. I won't treat you like you're all so typical. Oh, you think all lately is getting underneath me. All I dream of lately lights are off and the sun is finally setting. Night sky is changing overhead. It's not just our physical, and the top won't get oh so critical. So let's make things physical. I won't treat you like you're all so typical. I want you close, I want you. I won't treat you like you're typical. I want you close, I want you. I won't treat you like you're typical. Here come the dreams of you and me. Here come the dreams. Here come the dreams of you and me. Here come the dreams. It's not just our physical, and the time won't get oh so critical. So let's make things physical. I won't treat you like you're all so typical. I want you close, I want you. I won't treat you like you're typical. I want you close, I want you. I won't treat you like you're typical. I won't treat you like you're typical. I won't treat you like you're typical. All I wanna get is a little bit closer. All I wanna know is, can you come a little closer?
Tegan and Sara live on Radio 2, and that was Closer from the album Heartthrob. Abby Adair, what's your worst memory of each other?
God.
I love that question. That's really
Tegan and
good.
Sara break up while on tour in the UK. Question.
You know what's so funny? I mean, the truth is like it's not a fight. The worst memory I have of Tegan is that when we were little kids, she had a health issue. We were little, like 4 or 5, and she had to go into the hospital. And I have vivid memories of being separated from her. And then and for years later, we would talk about it all the time. We had to like deconstruct it from every angle. Like I would be like, so when you were there, you got to play on a playground. Like what did it look like? And who was there? And was it fun? And like what kinds of stuff did you go on? You know, like probably some kind of like weird child playground at the children's hospital. That's my worst memory of Tegan.
Being separated from her.
Being separated from her
envious.
and not understanding
Yeah.
probably what it was all about, you know?
She was really scowling at you when you started that story. She was
Yeah,
like,
well, I was like,
what is she going to say? I can see that.
Well, it's you know, you guys took it to mean like, you know, what drives me crazy about
I like
Tegan,
how
but-
you reorganized the question.
That's right, you know, just applied my own meaning.
Nice touch. And Tegan?
I mean, my worst memory is also Sarah was hospitalized as a young child, and
After you hit her.
no, I mean, if we're going down that path, I would say that, you know, probably one of the worst memories I have is going to summer camp without Sarah, and it was only a week, but I called home maybe like 50 times a day, and Sarah, it was like I would call because I needed to like get a connection with her, but Sarah just would spend the time like I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and she would just be like, "But are you cool? Like, have you met anybody? Does nobody like you? Like, how come you're sad? Like, why don't you want to be there?" And it just traumatized me even more to think Sarah was at home.
Just for the record,
feeling like I was a
Tegan and I
nerd.
have lived 3,000 miles apart for the last 10 years. Like,
You
we're
have? Okay,
fine now.
fine.
Yeah, we
we're
can now
fine.
be apart.
Yes.
No separation issues now.
We're like 30-year-old women. We're fine now.
But the bond is still there. There's
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
of course. It's,
But
this is right. Let me just read out some of the comments. One Foot Fun said, "This is amazing. I'm screaming along and only just realised I have my windows open." Kerry Berry, have Tegan and have you tried Iron Brew? Is there some gag about Iron Brew? No. Okay,
No.
maybe that's something you can look forward to. When
Mom, write that down on
Yeah.
your pad of paper. Mom's on it.
and you've got a tour coming up in the middle of this year, and I can't remember who it's with.
With Fun, yeah.
band
Fun, that's it.
Yeah, we're gonna after we finish this awesome tour over here, we start up with them in early July. So we're with them for a couple of months in North America, and they're lovely guys. I know
Yeah.
they're real big over here too.
No,
so,
we had them here where you are now. They played live on
No
the show, and they were
way.
very funny.
Oh,
yeah, they
they're
were
so
really
sweet.
good.
They're really sweet. So we're really excited to go out on tour with
Yeah.
them. So.
Nate's got a great voice as well.
Oh my god! I
It's-
mean,
Yeah.
we feel embarrassed sometimes when we're around him because he's we just want to be like nutty. I don't even want to speak. That's how much I think his voice is so good.
You ain't so bad yourselves. It's been really lovely meeting you and having you here playing
Thank you
live.
so much for having
Thank
me.
Same here. It's
you.
a delight to meet you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and John and Ted, thank you very much as well. Tegan and Sarah, you've been brilliant. Thank you.